So I think it's fair to say Big Ben is officially back. I was actually very impressed with what I saw from him. And let's just get into it. There was only really one play I saw that I thought was actively a bad throw. And that doesn't necessarily mean that he was, perfect outside of this one play. But there's only one play I saw where I'm like, that's not a great one. And it actually happened relatively early on in the game. It was in the first quarter, only about 10 minutes in the game. It's this play, the one you see on the screen. It's a cover 2 zone, and you have a receiver running a deep route on the bottom of the screen. And this is actually notable because if you look at the two safeties who are deep, the one who is closest to the receiver I have running a deep route is actually going to get a lot closer to the middle of the field. And so because of this, it now means that there is an opportunity for this receiver to get open. Now, this is intentional. They're basically just saying, you know what, we'll leave our corner on an island there and hope for the best. But as you see, there is a bit of an opening right here. So this is a decent situation for Pittsburgh, and Roethlisberger is going to make this throw. So the decision itself was not a bad one. It's going to actually be the throw itself. As you see, it's underthrown. This one could have easily been intercepted, probably should have been intercepted, and just ends up falling incomplete. Ben got away with one there. To me, that's not a good throw. That's not a good play. That's really the only one I saw that I would say was actively a bad play. Even on his interception, it was a 3rd and 15 on that play, and he was kind of in no man's land at the 50. He gave his receiver a jump ball, and it ended up getting picked. So even that one, I don't really hold against him too much. I think he had a really good day. Now, in fairness, a lot of why he didn't have a ton of bad plays was because a lot of what he had to do wasn't that high degree of difficulty, like this one, for example. This is going to be zone coverage, and he has a receiver running an out route, which is very good against this type of coverage. I mean, just think about it. It's cover 4, also known as quarters coverage. So this means that there's only going to be 3 Denver players covering the middle of the field. And since the route is cutting right before the defensive player is in charge of covering deep, this now means that basically the only players Ben has to worry about are going to be the players shallow, and since there's not that many, and since it's getting to the sideline where there isn't going to be a player, this is going to work out pretty well. And I mean, as you see, he gets completely wide open, and that's just a very easy throw for Ben to make, and that's a lot of what Roethlisberger was doing, was throws like that. That's kind of what Denver forces you into, is they play a lot of zone, and they make you take these sort of shorter throws. And if you watch the highlights, you would think that Roethlisberger was throwing the ball deep all game, but that really wasn't the case. He just picked his moments, but he picked his moments very well. Like, let's take a look at this one, for example. Denver is playing man coverage here. They don't play man a lot. They are playing it here. And so it's, cover 1 man. There's only 1 safety who's deep. So they're going to kind of say, you know what? I have Chase Claypool. He's running a deep route close to the sideline, and so the safety probably won't be able to run over and disrupt this play, at least not immediately. And so for Roethlisberger, he's going to say, you know what, I'm going to take this chance, especially since the safety who is staying deep is actually the one who's lined up closer to the bottom of the screen. So he would have a lot of room to cover to try and make this play. And so that's what Roethlisberger is going to do. And Claypool doesn't even really get that open, but it's just a beautifully thrown ball. And then Claypool is able to do the rest, and they get a touchdown. Just really good job by both Claypool and by Roethlisberger there. And, he chose his spot wisely. They didn't take a ton of deep shots. One was the, if you want to call a 20-yard pass for a touchdown a deep shot, the one earlier where he tried to get a touchdown, it was nearly picked. But when they did take those deep shots, it really worked out. So while a lot of Roethlisberger's plays weren't that high degree of difficulty, he absolutely had some high degree of difficulty plays as well, and he was able to be successful in them. So that's kind of why I say, no, this guy is back. Like this one, it's, again, there's single safety deep, it's man coverage, but it's only a 3-man rush, meaning that Denver is going to have multiple players drop back into coverage. So it's going to be really hard to get much going because, there's an extra guy in coverage. However, Big Ben does have a player running to the outside. That's the route I want you to take a look at because, as you see, he's a little bit open. Again, typically this would be wide open because the player who's playing man is playing very far off of him. He's doing this for a reason because he knows he has help shallower. But now, there is help shallower, but still, if he continues to run closer to the sideline, there will be a window for Roethlisberger to make this throw. But again, Roethlisberger has to make it in a hurry as well, because there is a Denver player who is now fastly approaching. And obviously, Roethlisberger couldn't have already made the throw because it would have been intercepted. There's a Denver player in front of his intended receiver. But Roethlisberger makes this at the perfect time and gets it over there in a hurry so they can get the first down on that play. Again, just a very good high degree of difficulty play from Roethlisberger. And if we're talking high degree of difficulty plays, there is none bigger than this next one. So again, this is a cover one man play. I like how I said they don't play man too often, and then I showed like a handful of man coverage plays. But that's because, typically on his zone coverage plays, Roethlisberger would just sort of take what the defense gives him. But then when it was man, that's when he would take his shots. And not always, obviously, but more often than not, which is why some of these high degree of difficulty plays tend to be man. It's going to be a cover one play, and you see that there's 3 receivers running deep routes. And if you think about it, if there's a safety who's deep, only one safety deep, where would he probably be covering? He's probably going to cheat further to the bottom of the screen, right? That would seem rational since there are multiple players running in that direction. But as you see right when this play starts, Roethlisberger, if you look at him, he's running to the bottom of the screen because containment has been given up on that side of the field, so he's going to run, and he honestly could pick up the first down right here if he wanted to, probably. He could at least, definitely he could. So, that's an option on the table. But Roethlisberger, he also looks over and he sees that he has, the other yellow circle, the one around the 10-yard line. That's a player who's trying to get open. It's a one-on-one matchup, and the safety, who is in the black circle, is way further on the bottom of the screen. So Roethlisberger could try to make this throw across his body if he wants to, if he feels confident enough in it. So that's what he's going to look for. He's going to look to see if his receiver gets open enough, and if he does, he's going to make the throw, and if not, he's just going to run and pick up the first down. But that receiver gets open, Roethlisberger makes an incredible throw across his body, and it's a touchdown. And, again, if we're talking high degree of difficulties, it doesn't get much more difficult than that. There's not a lot of quarterbacks who can make that play. I think a lot of us were concerned if Roethlisberger was going to be one of those quarterbacks who could make that play, given that he just came back from a bad injury. But you know what? He's looking better than ever. It's very fun to watch, and Big Ben is officially back, which is just awesome because, he's been a great player for a very long time, and it's cool to see him continue to be great. And the Steelers are just so much more fun to watch with him out there, let's be honest. So yeah, that's what I thought of Big Ben's performance. I guess just a quick recap. He took what the defense gave him in zone, but he would find opportunities on specific coverages to take advantage and to push the ball deep and take a shot when necessary, but he never took a shot that I felt like was a dumb shot to take. Every time he took a shot, there was a reason behind it. Even on the interception, I thought it was still a fine decision for him to make. So I thought that he played really well, and he was able to make some high degree of difficulty plays, which is very important. So really good game from him. Looking forward to seeing what he's going to do for the rest of the season. That's what I think. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.